I'm Zach Lashway. Certainly a tough start for many as millions of people are waking up to destruction left behind by Helene, now a tropical storm. KPRC-2 reporter Gage Goulding has been working since Wednesday with hurricane hunters to track and collect data from the storm. Gage is joining us live from Tallahassee with what folks there are having to deal with this morning. Gage, good morning.
Hey, good morning to you. We're actually out on the road right now, and I got to flip this camera around. First thing, I mean, just look at how beautiful this day is. You would not think that a Category 4 storm about 12 hours ago was knocking on the front doorstep of this part of the Florida Big Bend, the Florida Gulf Coast. We are just south of Tallahassee in Wakulla County, checking out some of the coastal conditions. And I have to say, as we pop up this camera here, it looks so much better than anticipated. You talk about a Category 4 storm. This is a major hurricane, and right now in the Tallahassee area, I said it earlier, I'm going to repeat it again. I think the state capital of Florida was spared the worst of this storm. I think the storm impacted some of the lesser populated counties. Still 52% of Leon County, which is where Tallahassee is without power, so a little over half. But compared to what this could have been, I mean, I think this could have been a lot worse for the big populated metro areas of the Big Bend. And I mean, you're seeing what's happening in Atlanta and areas like that. I think this specific area was really avoided the worst of it. So right now we're kind of driving eastwards in the direction of where the storm made landfall, trying to really get a gauge of what happened out here, right? Where was the storm surge at? Where were the high winds at to get a good value? So far, I mean, you can see for yourself. The views it looks like a bluebird day. That wasn't the case last night, though, unfortunately. There was quite the wind. There was strong winds. I mean, trees blowing over, power lines and transformers exploding. We could hear them in the distance outside as we were hunkering down at a hotel. That hotel that we stayed at actually is where a lot of people from where we're at right now along the coast came to evacuate, making that smart decision to get out of Dodge while they could before they didn't know what was going to happen with Hurricane Helene. At the time, the storm was forecast to hit the Tallahassee area, but did kind of take that eastward jog there at the last minute, slamming into Perry. And I want to say this is the third hurricane to hit the Big Bend region in about 13 months. Think about that. 3 hurricanes in just over a year. You have Adalia, Debbie, and now this. And I'm going to pop the camera around here, actually just seeing a couple of down power lines that we just passed. So there is damage. I want to say it's isolated. Where it is, it looks to be that of a hurricane, right? Other than that, you look at the street out here, it really just looks like a really strong thunderstorm came through. You know, small branches and limbs down on the road right now, but we're surveying the area more, hopefully to get a better grasp. We've been driving for about an hour and a half trying to, like I said, understand where things are and how they impacted this area. So, Zach, a long day ahead. Yeah. Certainly a long road for recovery for the folks that live here.
Yeah, it is a pleasant sign, though, to see the sunshine this morning. You know, Gage, I was talking with some folks in that area. It was back in 2018 they had to deal with Hurricane Michael. I believe that was a Cat 3 that made landfall closer to Mexico City, but it just ravaged that Gulf Coast, that Big Bend area. And then you go back to 2004, and that's when Hurricane Ivan, that was a Cat 5 storm, and that just destroyed parts of that area, including I-10. And as you know, I-10 is nowhere near the coast in that Panhandle. It's dozens of miles north, and so to see these people have to go through this once again, it does break your heart. But it's nice to see the sunshine shining so brightly this morning, less than 12 hours after Hurricane Helene made landfall in this area. Gage, excellent reporting. Thank you so much for your time this morning. With that, we want to toss things over to meteorologist Dajia Swad, who is tracking now Tropical Storm Helene. But look at the rain it's bringing to some of these areas inland. Daji.
Yes, so very impressive, right? As we saw where Gage was closer to Tallahassee, it has cleared that area, but to the north, we're still seeing rain continue to push into Tennessee, Kentucky, as well as through the Carolinas. There is some major improvements as we head into Georgia. Earlier this morning, I tell you what, Macon was under the worst of it, and there's still flash flood warnings across Atlanta, Roswell, extended